All right. There's you, the Chariot, in the present. We have the 10 of coins or the 10 of pens. 2 tens coming up there. I've seen a lot of tens in the star. Shit. Oh boy. What is... I just had a look at this as well. We've got the 2 of cups coming up there at the bottom. This is something that's been coming up a lot for people. Who do we have connections with? You know, who's on the same page as us? Who's there to love and support us? Who do we love and support? So remember that. That might be an extra message there for someone, but it's not in your actual spread. So let's get into this. We have the 10 of cups coming up as your underlying energy. What's the end game? Why are you going through all of this? What is it that you want to achieve? What's the dream, Cancer? What's the dream? Because that's what the 10 of cups ultimately is. Yeah, I know the 10s are seen as the complete. I don't actually see 10s as completions. I see 9s. 9s are, we're done. We've done everything that we can do up until that point. And then the 10 is the outcome of what it is that we've done. And then out of that beautiful outcome, or not so beautiful outcome in the 10 of swords and the 10 of wands, right? We come out with a new ace because then the cycle starts again, right? That's why I say there's never a true happily ever after, because we always want something new. We always want to create something new. Our idea of happiness changes. So we want more, right? We're greedy things, human beings. Nothing wrong with that greed though. So with the 10 of cups coming up here, have a look. Blissed out dog and cat in front of the fireplace. What is your idea of this? We all have one. What is it? Now, I feel like you're being reminded to look at this because for some of you, it's changed. And for others of you, you need it. You need to remember why you're doing this when you get into this energy, the 5 of wands. And like I said to you at the beginning, you know, this is at the heart. This is the focus of your, everything revolves around this. So this could be, you know, other people telling them, I get the sense that some of you are going in a different direction. The change of direction coming in here. And this is almost like that, oh shit, what's so-and-so going to say when I tell them that I'm not going to actually be doing that anymore, or I don't actually want to be doing that. Now, this can be other people, like friends, family members, people that we love, who come in and tell us that, you know, hey, you probably shouldn't do that, Cancer, because of, you know, they're trying to keep you safe and they're trying to say what's best for you. But number one, never accept unsolicited advice from anyone. I have a big rule against unsolicited advice. It's not necessary, guys. You know, who's to say that you're on the wrong path? Who can come and tell you that you're doing something wrong? If you're about to do something really stupid and silly, most times I let people do it. They'll learn something out of it. Unless it's like a risk to life or, you know, that kind of thing. Then I'm not going to say anything. Why? Because it's not because you don't love them. It's because you don't know what path they're on. Who am I to say that I know what's best for someone? Same here. Who is anyone else to say they know what's best for you? Remember that. Now, so sometimes we don't want to step up to them because they love us, right? They're trying to be nice to us. But I actually did a podcast episode on that. It's called, Who Are You Harming With Your Love? You know, you might be holding someone back. You might be doing whatever. And this feels like that. Now, it's wands. It's about creation. And it might be you're competing for stuff. This can be healthy conflict in the workplace. And I say healthy conflict. What do I mean by that? You know, competition. I'm going to get more sales than you. I'm going to do that. It can be that kind of energy. I'm not getting that though. That might be for some of you, but that's not the point here. I feel like this is more, your dreams are on one side, what you've envisioned as your happily ever after. On the other side of this is the 6 of cups, which is happy memories in the past, nostalgia, right? What made you happy in the past. And yet you're conflicted. In the middle, you're conflicted. Either to do with other people or within yourself. But even within yourself, it could be to other people. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm ready to get into the fray, if I'm ready to compete for this, or I'm ready to go for this. The 5 of wands, actually, as much as we say it's conflict and difficult and all the rest of it, and people that have an aversion to conflict, you know, they might see that as, oh my God, that's really difficult. But what the 5 of wands actually says is that it's not really an obstacle to you. It's more of a challenge to be overcome, to go for what you want. And if it's a challenge they want, it's the challenge they get, because we have the Chariot coming up in your present. And this is your card. And it's about, I always see, like, some people have said to me that I don't get, how can the Chariot be the card for Cancer? It seems so un-Cancerian. And I'm forever trying to get people to stop looking at signs as being fluffy. Like, people see Cancer as being a fluffy sign. Same with Libra. And some of the toughest people, some of the people that I put up with my bullshit have been Cancer and Libra. So they're not fluffy. They just have a different priority system, right? You guys have different things that you prioritize. So I always see the Chariot as this is what gets us home. This is, whatever that goal, the destination is, even if it's that job, or even if it's that £1 million, or even if it's that relationship, it's because it gives you a sense of home, right? 10 of Cups, look at that. Safety. This is my happily ever after. This is the end game. This is, the place that I feel like home. And that's why it's your card. That's how I always see the Chariot as your card. But it's about balancing head and heart to get there. You're not just going to get there. You need to jump into the Chariot. You pick what your destination looks like. Then you grab hold of those reins. You take control of the situation and you go forward. Believe it or not, Cancer. And I know I didn't really talk about the Six of Cups here, but that's the past, guys. I think you've spent a lot of time looking back over the past of when things were happier. But the past is in the past. And that's a double message coming up here with the Six of Cups here, in the past. Does that make sense? Because that's the card of the past, in the past. That's done. We're moving. We're getting the hell out of Dodge. We're moving as fast as we can towards what the new dream is. That can feel overwhelming. 5 of Wands. That can feel like, what the hell am I doing? Why is this going so fast? I know it feels like things are out of control with that 5 of Wands, but there's only one person who has the ability to control this, and that is you, Cancer. Honestly, it is. It's your card, and it's in the present, and it's underneath your happily ever after. No, I don't know who else I said this to. Was it Aries? I think I said it to Aries. No one is coming to save us. No one is coming to give us anything. But guess what? We don't bloody need them to, because we have the Chariot here. It's about you taking the actions to get to where you want to go. Not just sitting there waiting for handouts for what people will give you. No. The Chariot is a victory card because of the determination and effort that you put into this. And look at where it takes you. So you start off with this underlying energy of the 10 of Cups. This is what will emotionally make me happy. But you get the 10 of Coins coming out of this, which is, this is physical, real world, see it, feel it, touch it kind of security and stability coming in. It's amazing. Amazing. I mean, you've got the Chariot. It's got these two either side of it. This is something that has the potential to stand the test of time. It's long-term stability and security. And it's a dream. I think for some of you, it's a dream that you had for a while. It's something that you might have given up on this happening. I always see the not always, but sometimes I will see the 6 of Cups as when it comes up, especially a career reading, is I had a dream of this in the past, but I kind of gave up on it because it would be too hard to fight for it. I didn't know if I'd be able to compete for it. But it kind of feels like this week, there's a resurrection of an old dream, or an old dream gets put to rest for good because you've come up with a new one that comes up here. And it's amazing. And this is not some willy-nilly stupid little kind of, just kind of, I don't know, fleeting idea, or, oh, it'd be great if I'm on the lottery. Not like that. This is something that it will be your legacy. It's something that you want to be known by. This is what I want to leave behind. Yes, that kind of big thinking. That's what the 10 of Coins or the 10 of Pentacles is. It's commitment. It's committing to something. But can you get through this? Can you get through this, whatever, internal conflict or outer conflict, whatever it is? I mean, that's the only kind of, have a look at everything else. Amazing, beautiful. But that's what you're focused on. It's going to be difficult. Of course it's going to be difficult. But would it be worth it if it wasn't? And it depends on what you see as difficult, right? Trust me, the first time I started learning how to say no to people, I was racked by guilt. I found it very difficult. Now, I have no problem. I'll be like, nah, I ain't doing it. Because you honor yourself first. You honor your dreams first. You honor your goals first. And look at your advice. They started off by showing you what is your dream, what's the end game, why are you doing this? The advice is the Star. Healing, new beginnings coming in. It's card for Aquarius, actually. Some of you might be dealing with an Aquarius, but remember, the signs don't own the cards. They just lend their characteristics, or they lend their energies to them. And this is about, you pick your star. You pick your dream. You pick your destination. And once you pick the star, sometimes the downside of the star is, and that's what this might be, is you might think it's childish to go back to that dream, but it isn't. Because sometimes we look at the star and we think it's too far away, I'll never get to it. You have a Chariot that can get you there. You have great energies coming up here, guys. Great energies. And I want you to own it. If you don't want to get into a fight, if you don't want to compete, if you don't want to do that, well, Yeah, but you know, that's the only thing that you're focused on. Is it really going to be that difficult? Do they have your chariot? Do they have the dream? Do they want it as bad as you do? Do they understand what it is that you want? They don't need to. It's your dream. And that's what the star says. You pick the star that is your star, and then you let that guide you. It's the hope that comes from a new beginning. It's the hope. You don't have to look back. This is about looking forward now, moving forward, facing forward, following that star, going to a new destination, starting something new. This really does feel like drawing a line under the past once and for all, and not like judgment. Like, there's nothing brutal here or transformative. It's just, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to go to something new. But not everyone's going to be on board, but they don't need to be. It's one of those kind of get in or get out the way kind of jobs. Okay, so this is very, all right, interesting card that comes up, especially considering that there's the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. So we have this. Physical touch is important. For some of us, nothing is more important than a tender touch. This might include a pat on the back or giving a hug to someone who needs it. So what I immediately thought of when I saw this, especially with the chariot, can be travel. It can actually be travel, moving somewhere, going somewhere. And if you're in a long distance relationship, or, you know, we'll use that as an example. Person makes you happy, you're committed, right? That's your happily ever after. You're willing to do that. Now, the struggle then is that, can I move there? Can I go be somewhere else? Can I do this? Because remember, this is a happily ever after too, but this is physical security and stability. There's something that's been a dream. There's something that's been nostalgia around this. And it's time to get in your chariot and make it a reality. Make it a reality. And it feels like only you can do that. Only you can do that. But yeah, physical touch is important. If we're moving away from that, this can be when there's intimacy issues sometimes. You know, we need a little bit more kind of touch and feel, and not just in the bedroom, but, you know, hugs, that kind of thing. It doesn't have to just be romance as well. We're talking about with friends. Sometimes we need other people around us. We've been spending too much time alone. Let's not fight, right? Let's just go bloody grab a pizza and watch a movie together. It's that kind of energy. Physical touch, right? The physical part of it. Not just being in our emotions, not just being in our thoughts, but physicality. That's why this is so crucial coming up here. Because you start off here with a dream, and this is about the reality of it. And a leg up talks about you've gone as far as you can on your own. And you know what? Both of these cards, they talk about families. It's that family or groups of people that work. Like, family doesn't just have to be blood, right? It doesn't have to be just be blood. There's people that are in my life. We're not related by blood, but they're family. They are as dear to me as my, you know, sisters or whatever. So a leg up. This is talking about, it's about bringing other people in. Why do you see it being difficult with these people? Why do you see it? Because I'm still getting that sense you can control this with this coming up. Control, but you balance your head and heart. There's a card actually in Alice the Wonder. I don't know if you know the Oracle deck, Alice the Wonder. Sometimes I pick up energies in other Oracle cards. Yeah, I know, it's weird. But and it says this thing of that, how can you give someone else emotional support or be there emotionally for someone else if you're not grounded yourself, you're not balanced yourself? And I'm kind of getting that. It's almost as if, I don't know if you ever see, I don't know if any of you have ever owned a dog, and I guess I'm thinking that because of him, but if you're very aggressive with a dog, if you kind of get all angry and aggressive, that dog almost, it's like you're feeding the energy of that dog. It will come at you with aggression. But if you're very calm, no matter what that dog's doing, it will calm down too, because it doesn't get anything of you to feed. And I kind of get that sense with you. I don't know why. It's kind of coming in here as well with that. So a leg up. There are people that can help you, but that's where you're hesitant about other people for some reason with that 5 of Wands there. And look, you got fork in the road. Especially with the chariot coming up. That's the whole thing with the chariot. You make both the horses, or you have to control them to go in the same direction. So does your head want to go in one direction? Does your heart want to go in another? You can't do that. If there's a fork in the road, they can't go in separate directions. You're not going to end up anywhere. You'll rip the chariot in half. So it's about being on the same page, but about making a decision. And I want you to own it. If you're at the fork in the road and you can't decide which way to go, or you don't want to take control of the chariot or whatever, that's fine. That's a valid choice too, but own it. Own it. I see too many people that get that kind of energy and they don't pick. And then they say, oh, nothing ever happened. And it's like, well, hang on a second. You were at a fork in the road. I didn't know which one to pick. I didn't want to go the wrong way. But that was still a choice to not make a decision, right?